Hi and welcome to the Zone.
We're back again.
This is the Fantasy Football Zone, your home
for everything fantasy football.
Hi and welcome back to the Zone. This is the Fantasy Football Zone, your home for everything fantasy football. This is the ideal guy, and glad to just have you on the show today. This is the Gameweek 10 preview show, of course, and joined by FPL Denosaurus. Denosaurus, what's up?
The sky, the roof, the ceiling.
Just get out of here.
Chelsea, not Manchester United. I mean, hey, I have so many versions. I have so many versions to answer that question, Bana.
Good one. Of course, we're excited. We're excited for the show today. Of course, this is the Game Week 10 preview show where we talk about the fixtures, give a bit of insight in what we're thinking about for the fixtures, but also look at how our teams are shaping up towards the game week. Of course, the game week deadline is tomorrow, and yeah, we're looking forward to it. So, let's just dive right into it. Of course, we've done a lot of shows in the course of the week, but now we want to just look at fixtures for game week 10. Let's just dive into game week 10 fixtures. So first of all, we have the early kickoff with Leicester facing off against Arsenal. Very interesting game here. Of course, two teams on form, in the Premier League, but even out of the Premier League, Leicester, of course, carrying their form over last 4 games, haven't lost even one. Arsenal unbeaten in 6. Denosaurus, what's up? What do you think about this game?
Hey, that's a big game for sure. Of course, these two teams love playing against one another. It's always a fanfare and goal fest affair in terms of when these two teams meet. Jamie Vardy enjoys playing against Arsenal. It's his favorite opponent. Aubameyang also enjoys playing against Leicester. It's going to be an entertaining match for sure. I can say one exciting manager. That's Brendan Rodgers with the one manager who's trying to excite.
But to be fair, let's give him his flowers. He's been performing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. One exciting manager versus one manager who's trying to excite.
But how exciting is Brendan Rodgers when we have the same points as Leicester?
No, yeah, there's that, but then Brendan Rodgers has the pedigree. We know what he can do. Of course, at Leicester in the last 2 seasons, especially at the tail end of the campaign, his team has been underperforming. When they have a chance to close that top 4 position, they seem to crumble, and they're not able to, take those performances over the line. But then also, let's look at it this way. Leicester have been consistent in the last 2-3 years under this guy. Leicester are always a top 4 contender. Always a given. They're a top 4 contender. Leicester never used to be that kind of team in that kind of position. So he has definitely had some impact on that team. And of course, they've strengthened. I don't know how they'll be able to, deploy the likes of Patson Daka and Bubakar Sumare in the team. The more these guys are able to be brought into the team, the more they're able to impact the performances. You can see what Arteta is doing with that new squad, the new signings, and how much they're coming in to lift up the spirits at this Arsenal side. So for sure, we know Leicester are capable of anything. You saw what they did to Manchester United, coming from, was it 2-0 down or 2-1 down?
Yeah.
To
winning
finish the
4-2.
game at 4-2. Yeah, to win the game at 4-2. And Yuri Tillmans is at the form of his life. The guy is prolific in front of goal from the midfield. But then also, of course, very many positives at Arsenal. Finally, Thomas Partey goes his goal. The team seems to be gelling. Smith Rowe is playing his best football. So yeah, these are two teams that are on the up. Exciting performances, and one thing we know for sure is that we'll see goals.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. And of course, those owning keepers from either side, Schmeichel or Ramsdale, that's one to look out for. Any predictions from you?
Of course, I will definitely predict an Arsenal win. Possibly a 3-2. A 3-2 win. Yeah.
You know what?
But
I was actually thinking of the same.
It can go either way. It can go either way. This is a game that can go either way.
Okay. Good one. Let's just look back at the fixtures. For game week 10. Of course, another game, Burnley versus Brentford. We won't talk too much about that. Burnley, of course, really struggling at the moment. To just pick up a win. And of course, Brentford really flying high. Had a win in the Carabao Cup. But interesting game I want to talk about is Liverpool versus Brighton. Liverpool are the form of their lives, still unbeaten this season. And Brighton, of course, you could give a case for them. They're really playing good football. Of course, lost 4-1 to Manchester City, game week 9. So, I mean, what do you think about this game? Salah is at the form of his life. I mean, you think they'll just
I think this is one of those games that is going to, especially from an FPL perspective, we might finally be disciplined, because of course we don't see ourselves taking the armband away from Salah. I don't see him having that kind of performance in this game. But Liverpool are definitely going to win. They're at the cup. Brighton, for all their resilience and for all their hard work, I don't think they have what it takes to stop this Liverpool side at this point in time, especially Liverpool playing at home. I think they'll have too much for them. But of course, you expect the Potters to, it's called Graham Potter.
Graham Potter,
you expect his side to entertain. They're playing some excellent quality football, and but I don't think they'll be able to do much. So it looks like a clean sheet, and maybe 2-0 kind of scoreline. It definitely won't be. It definitely won't be a 5-0 for sure.
Are you really sure? With this Liverpool side, you can expect goals at any point in time.
No, that scoreline is reserved for someone special.
Shall the reader understand? Anyways, good one. Of course, a very interesting game. It would be one that, of course, we'd love to just watch. Let's get back to the fixtures as well. Fixtures, we can just put up the fixtures again. So City versus Crystal Palace. Of course, City were knocked out of the Carabao Cup just this week, and Crystal Palace playing well. However, failed to nick a result over the line. Have had too many draws just along the past couple of weeks. Some draws that they could have actually sustained and lost, but they just lost them. So, I mean, you just see a slap in here, or what do you think?
Yeah. No, like you're saying, Crystal Palace are due a win. I mean, they've done everything they possibly could, but it's like they are condemned to draws. I think now they've had 5 draws in a row. and some extraordinary draws. 2-2 score lines against Arsenal and was it Tottenham?
Yeah.
Those kind of teams. And I don't know what Patrick Vieira, I'm sure is frustrated. He's like, what do I have to do to get a win from this team? Unfortunately, this opponent for game week 10 might not be the favorable one for them to. So
Yeah.
instead of them turning that D into a W, it might just turn to an L. Because of course they are at the Etihad, and Man City are a different proposition altogether. But of course they might surprise us. They have a good squad. They are playing good football. If they're able to hold Man City to a draw, of course they'll do a big favor to Chelsea. But that notwithstanding, in terms of anything less than a miracle, I think Man City will run away with this one.
No, I feel the same way. I think, of course, Manchester City are too strong, and again, the Etihad, give or take, there's definitely probably gonna be goals in this game. Let's just move on to the next one, as well. Very interesting games here. Newcastle versus Chelsea. There's Newcastle versus Chelsea. Of course, Chelsea after slapping Norwich, 7-0. High in form. Newcastle still struggling, to pick up form. But yeah, no, we're not going. There's not much really talking about in that game.
Actually, it's interesting that Newcastle are still managerless at this point in time.
Yeah, with all those billions.
So you wonder. Yeah, you wonder what kind of deal are they trying to sign Jesus or something? Because they're taking too long. They're taking too long, and they have all the money in the world. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what kind of manager they're trying to look for. But
do you think it's one of these cases? Do you think it's one of these cases where you just have too much money, you do not know where to look, that you're just spoiled for choice?
No, but they can get Allardyce to hold the fort as they're thinking, but surprisingly, I don't know. Okay, I feel like this the new leadership of Newcastle are kind of letting down their fans. Of course, after getting rid of Bruce at this point in time, there's not even rumors, we're not even getting rumors or anything that they're being linked to certain managers or they're having conversations with certain managers.
They're really going under the radar, this, right?
Yeah, it's almost like a dead town over there. There's no news. But then I think if they had a new manager, they would be a good preposition to cause problems to this Chelsea side.
Well,
of course, Chelsea now. No, of course, I'm saying if they took the opportunity to get a new manager in time. Yeah, but then even as they have a squad that is able to cause some problems. Chelsea, of course, are now looking like they're formidable, especially after that 7-0 win. Of course, even once they land in the pitch over there, this guy, Saint Maximin, is already going to be, dancing already in terms of just trembling in fear. But but I think Newcastle have what it takes to upset Chelsea, to cause an upset against Chelsea.
Okay.
It is unprecedented. It is unprecedented, but they have what it takes. But of course, they'll need a small miracle.
I'll differ with you on that. I think Chelsea are too strong for Newcastle at the moment. Probably may not be a very high-scoring game. However, I feel Chelsea has what it takes to beat these guys. Of course, I had Tuchel during his press conference saying that Lukaku and Werner and Kovacic as well could be back after. They might take Koeman. Okay, that's Newcastle fans. Okay, all right. But yeah, I had
Koeman is going to Saudi Arabia
to take over.
Koeman has been terrible. I think we need to discuss that at some point. It's amazing how terrible this guy has been with that Barcelona squad. He's lost to everyone. Rayo Vallecano. Hey.
and it's really, and I think the El Clasico is what took him, what really took his job. I think that for me was the final nail in the coffin. It was just a matter of time.
Yeah, but
But
yeah, we'll talk
anyways,
about that. Let's deviate because
anyways,
it's a very
anyways,
interesting topic.
So yeah, as I was saying, of course, 3 players from Chelsea are out. Of course, due to injury until after international break. That's Werner, Kovacic, and Lukaku. So that's also really one to look out for. But anyways, Watford, Southampton, not really much to talk about. Of course, Watford having won 5-2 at Everton, and Southampton really struggling as well defensively. But yeah, let's just move on to the feature match for game week 10. That's Manchester United versus Tottenham. Some are calling it the El Sackico. I don't know.
Yeah,
Does this the
it's
ultimate
the
El
El
Sackico?
Sackico. And of course,
Yeah.
I think that puts this match at a potential of being a guaranteed draw. I feel
Yeah.
like
It's draw-esque, right?
it has a draw vibe, because
Yeah.
both managers have so much to lose for them to be,
Mm.
I think, too adventurous. Both these managers will be very conservative in terms of defense first kind of policy. Of course, we know, I think both have serious firepower. Harry Kane coming up against Cristiano Ronaldo. And of course, there's the supporting cast of Heung-min Son versus Bruno Fernandes. And the rest, Manchester United also have 007, Mr. Jadon Sancho. So
Yeah.
they can be explosive. Both teams can be explosive, and both teams have the potential of making this into a really high scoreline. You remember the last time they played, it was actually at
It
the
was
Old
actually
Trafford.
it was Old Trafford, yeah, 6-1.
It was Old Trafford, the 6-1
Yeah.
win.
Yeah.
Who got a red card in that game?
It was no
It was Martial. It was Anthony Martial.
Martial, yeah, I remember.
Yeah. And then, of course, Tottenham took
Slap.
the invitation
Of
to
course, four
provide a
assists
serious
for
slapping.
Kane. 4 assists for Kane.
Yeah,
Son
so,
came out with a hat trick. Yeah.
and that is fresh in the minds at this point in time. So you imagine all those things will have a play in terms of the pressure that both these two teams are having. So I feel like it has, the writing is on the wall that this is going to be a draw. And of course, whoever loses is a favorite for getting the sack.
Yeah. Okay. In my view, I think Solskjaer is really more under pressure. I think than Nuno. I think Nuno may be given maybe 1 or 2 more games, of course. But after that, I think that will be done. But especially for Manchester United, I think he's always under more pressure, especially looking at the fixtures that are coming up: Tottenham, Atalanta, Man City. Then, of course, the international break. Do you think, in your view, do you think it's time for Solskjaer to just leave? An unbiased.
No, it will never be time for Solskjaer to leave. Solskjaer needs to stay. In fact, we need to sign a petition and make sure that guy stays until the end of the season. It will never be time for Solskjaer to leave. But yeah, but I think this guy can't catch a break. He also can't catch a break in terms of the fixtures are just another preposition altogether.
Yeah.
Of course, he has the tactics and the team has the capacity to nick a match here and there. But then the quality of opponents that they're coming up against in the next 3 or 4 game weeks is such that you'll have to have a drastic change in terms of what he's doing with this team for them to experience any kind of result, because they are facing Chelsea, they are facing Man City, they are facing Arsenal, they are facing Atalanta. You see the quality of opponents that they're coming against in the next few matches. And it's like, even if they manage to get 1 win, I don't think they can guarantee a sense of consistency that they can get, they can survive that kind of run, So maybe they can nick the 1 win against Tottenham, or maybe the 1 win against Watford, or someone like that, Atalanta. But then for them to put a run together with these kind of games coming at them, of course, it's going to be a tall order. It's going to be a tall
Yeah,
order.
yeah. I
Ronaldo
mean,
needs to pull up his socks. The guy is not doing enough. Actually, the entire team. Harry
yeah,
Maguire.
yeah,
What is Harry Maguire? How is he earning as a footballer? I mean, this guy is so rigid at this point in time.
yeah, yeah.
You know, he would do better as a bodyguard or a bouncer somewhere at the door clubs.
Hey,
So the
okay,
team,
okay. Manchester
the
United
team
fans
needs
are
an
gonna
overhaul.
cancel us. They're gonna cancel us.
No, the point is the team needs a overhaul, not
Yeah.
of personnel but of mindset, because
Mm.
they are packed with talent. I mean, it's one of the best squads in the league. Where if you just take out maybe Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea, they have one of the best squads in the league. And if we are
Yeah.
just talking about first 11s, if you're just talking about first 11s, it can be argued that they have a better first 11 than maybe Liverpool or Chelsea, in terms of the pedigree of players that they have. Because
Mm.
when you put Ronaldo there and Pogba there and Bruno there and Sancho, I mean, what else do you need? Then there's Rashford.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, they have an
Yeah.
amazing squad. So they just need to flip the switch.
To be honest, I just feel Ole is out of his depth, and I think for me the biggest problem in Manchester United is defense. Defensively, they've been really poor. But also again, I remember we posted something on the official FF Zone Instagram a few weeks ago. The next 10 to 12 fixtures of Manchester United, and we asked how many wins do you think Manchester United will get, and I think I commented 6. And one Manchester United fan was almost jumping on my neck. But at this rate, I don't even think they'll reach 2. So, so I mean, of course, it's a very interesting match. On the other hand, Tottenham as well struggling. Getting a win. They're hot and cold. You can't really know what Tottenham is about at this point in time. But again, of course, you can't say any of them is on form. So I mean, it's looking like a
Yeah.
very interesting game. So you said your predictions are draw. What's the scoreline for you?
I'm thinking maybe a 2-2. It's
Two
going
two.
to be an interesting match for sure.
Mm, mm.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if either of the teams have what it takes to get the win.
All right, all right, all right. I also before the show, I was just thinking as well, just the same 2-2 or 1-1. But yeah, I'll stick with 2-2 as well. All right, let's just get back to the fixtures. Of course, very fast. Run through the Sunday fixtures. Of course, Norwich vs Leeds. I mean, there's nothing much to talk about this game. Norwich struggling completely. I think this is an opportunity for Leeds again to get a W at least, the second W.
But Leeds are
Of
also
course,
struggling. Leeds are also struggling.
yeah, they're struggling. Yeah,
Yeah, they are playing below, of course, their standards.
yeah.
And actually, I think you're saying this is the opportunity for Leeds to get their first win, but I'm thinking
No,
this is the
second.
opportunity for Norwich.
Norwich to
Or
get there
second
first.
win. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking this is the opportunity for Norwich to get there first, because
Okay.
they're getting a team that is not necessarily at their best at this point
Yeah.
in time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Norwich have been trying. Of course, fixtures have also not been in their favor, but then also they pulled some draws. They pulled some draws right before the 7-0 thrashing. They had 2-0 draws. So they've been trying, and the draws were against Burnley and against
Yeah.
I don't remember the other one, but yeah. So they were trying. So I feel like that 7-0 thrashing might have been a turning point for them. Of course, they must have sat down and went like, "Hey,
And
we need to do
reflected. Yeah.
something different. Yeah, we need to do something different."
Mhm.
And of course, even if they are not gonna, light fireworks in the pitch this Sunday against Leeds, who are not necessarily firing from all cylinders, I think Norwich are looking at this thing and saying, "This is the guy we need to die with now, here and now."
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. That's right. In
So
Kenya, we say kufa na yeye. So,
yeah,
so
anakufa na actually I've done direct translation.
so yeah, but of course yeah, I definitely agree with you. It could be the turning point,
Yeah,
of course,
so
after that
it
7-0.
it has it has that intonation. These guys are looking
Mm.
for someone to crucify, and take down with.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Interesting game there as well to catch. Of course, the next game on Sunday, Aston Villa. Of course, I think we can put up the fixtures again. The last game, Aston Villa on Sunday. I think versing what? Everton, is it? No, versing West Ham.
West Ham.
Sorry. Yeah. Of course, West Ham on very high form. Aston Villa not in very impeccable form at the moment, really struggling. Of course.
But they have some of their players back.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about this game briefly?
I think any result is good for Arsenal, especially if Arsenal get the win. Any result is good because both these guys are direct competitors at this point in time. But West Ham are proving to have, like I said in the other show. Actually, we were doing the review show, and I'm saying I don't like how West Ham are now. They're now consistent. They've now seemed to have found a winning formula. It's like, of course, they will get the odd draw or loss here and there, but it's like every match they step into, they are setting themselves up as favorites. And you saw this even in the Carabao Cup. They ended the long run
Man
of
City's
Man City's 4-year run.
Yeah.
And even when you saw that match, when you look at the highlights of that game, both sides actually, West Ham could have won that match with a margin of like 2 goals. It could have been a 3-1 or a 2-1, kind of scoreline, because they created some amazing opportunities. Sushek was wasteful, and some of those other guys, but the game, in terms of the game they played, they held their own in a very convincing manner. So of course, Aston Villa are also capable of the shock. They have the squad to do it. Danny Ings, Oli Watkins, and the likes of Emi Buendia, who's also due a performance. He's due a performance for sure. And they have a good squad, Aston Villa. So if Aston Villa on their day, they can stop West Ham, or at least they can stop them from getting the entire 3 points.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a battle. This is one game that is definitely worth watching. At this point in time, this is what we love about the Premier League, that every game to some extent has some, has some spice and flavor to it.
It's not as boring as it was
we can actually enjoy all these games. We can actually enjoy all these games. So that's going to be a good one. I'm seeing goals. I'm seeing goals in that game. But another one that has a lot of draw potential written all over it.
Interestingly, I'm looking at this game and I'm thinking it doesn't have too many goals. Interesting. For me. But anyways, okay. Final game. Let's just look at a final game, of course, on Monday.
Wolverhampton versus Everton.
Everton. Hey, this is a very tight game, by the way. I mean, in very many FPL wise and even just game wise, it's a very tight game. Of course, Bruno. Everton need to recover from that Watford loss, and Wolves. You can't say that they're really flying high, but I mean they're picking up points, right?
Yeah. Wolves are finally, they've turned the form. They're getting their goals. Huang and Jimenez seem to have struck a partnership that is working up top. Jimenez providing the assist and Huang providing the finishes. And they're looking like a solid outfit, Wolves. But then, of course, this is Everton. This is Everton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Everton with Richarlison back. Of course, they are capable of something. They're capable of something. It's going. I feel like it's going to be a very interesting game. I feel like this one. I don't even know how to call it. I don't even know what to call.
I don't
even know what to call in this game. It's a tight fixture. It's a rigid fixture, but then it's also a bit. It has an allure of, entertainment. It can be anything,
I don't know if for some reason it smells like a 0-0 for me. It just smells like, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It's a very rigid and tight fixture, but then it has the potential of exploding.
Also being a very high scoring goal.
Exactly. we need to see the likes of Gray and Townsend also pick up the form, because they've been a bit low recently in their performances. So I'm telling you this, I don't even know what to call this game, but I'll definitely watch this one. I'll
It's
definitely watch this one.
Definitely an interesting one, and of course, interesting fixtures there for game week 10. Of course, we've discussed and given a bit of predictions, but we can just dive straight into our teams. We want to just look at how our teams are shaping up, of course, for game week 10. Let's start with Dinosaurus team.
Yeah, but for good measure, I think we can just say game week 10 feels like a very tricky game week. It's one of those where you don't know where to lean,
Just try and avoid. Just try to lean above average. I think that's the safest.
Yeah. So we can look at my team. I did my FPL Dinosaurus team review on Wednesday. That is.
Yeah.
And as you can see, I'm yet to implement some of the thoughts I had in terms of transfers. I was thinking of taking out. You see, my bench is all injury struck, and the news was broken about Raya. I'm so devastated about Raya because it's very rare that you plan to transfer out a keeper. In FPL, very rare.
Yeah.
So of course that keeper move is, and I need both keepers because you see now I'm left with Guiata, who I had no intention of playing against Man City, but then now it's like either I bring in a keeper or I hope he makes some serious saves, even if he gets thrashed. But I'm not too sure what to do with this team. I have Aspilicueta, who I don't know if he will play or not. At least I know Cancelo will play and Livramento will play, and they have some really good fixtures. So I'm hopeful about those potentials, those assets. I like Ismail Yassar. At this point in time, I think I'm the only one left with Ismail Yassar.
I think so. Yeah.
You remember the 2 game weeks ago, we were all planning to jump ship, and I retained him, but now he has a good fixture, and they're showing some form, and Watford are showing some form. So at home, I'm sure if they have some goals left in them, hopefully they did not spend all their goals against Everton, the five of them. If they have some goals left in them, this guy is definitely going to be, to have something to say. That team. Smith Rowe, of course, is there. I'm really thinking of getting rid of Said Benrahma. I feel like, wow, this guy, there's nothing to expect from him. I watched him in the Carabao Cup. There's nothing. He's not even showing up at the box. He's not having shots. He's not having attempted assists. I'm like, I don't know what has happened to his game. It's like he's gone further back, and the likes of McGinn and Fornals are more or less dominating the attacking play. So I don't know. And it's only when you get rid of a player that's when he decides, oh, I remember how to score,
Yeah.
So Benrahma is, if I'm to make a transfer this game week, Benrahma is likely to be the culprit. But then you can see Ronaldo is still over there. I'm still hoping. I'm still waiting for Ronaldo.
Talk about Ronaldo. Why are you still holding on to Ronaldo?
Honestly, I don't have a better option to get rid of him. The plan was to get rid of him in game week 9 for Lukaku. Of course, that plan was thwarted when Lukaku got injured. At this point in time, the only player that I think I can replace him with is probably Aubameyang. But Aubameyang is coming up against Vardy, and I don't feel like it would be a really wise move to have both of them coming against each other. Of course, it can work in my favor, but then I feel like it's too much of a risk. And if I'm really bent on getting rid of Benrahma, then that would come at a minus. So those are some of the things I'm thinking. I'm saying, hey, I might as well just keep him. Maybe, of course, he's still Ronaldo. And now that he now that he announced he's expecting twins, maybe he might show some effervescence on the pitch and show us some shots on target. Clearly, he knows how to put shots on target.
Two for that matter.
Yeah, the guy is productive on goal. So I don't know why he's not performing on the pitch. You know. Or maybe Man United need to put a picture of his wife on the opponent's net. They need to put a picture of his wife on the opponent's net.
That's mad. All right.
I'm still waiting. I'm still hopeful that if he was to get a hat trick out of nowhere, you would see the green arrows that would come my way. Very few people have him in their teams right now. He's more of a liability than an asset at this point in time.
Especially at his price point,
Yeah, but if there's ever a fixture for him to step up, Tottenham is the one.
So. Yeah. Anyways, I mean, very interesting. Denisaurus, your bench looks like mine 2 weeks ago. It was all red. I mean, it's that time of the month, bro. For your team.
Hey, boss. Wait. But mine is yellow. Mine is not red. Mine is yellow. But Also, let me talk about Mbeumo. I think he's likely to feature, despite him being flagged yellow. He's likely to feature. So I think one move I can make is I can save my transfer and have Mbeumo there and bench Benrahma and see how that plays out. Yeah, but of course, I'm a bit anxious not having more Man City assets for that game against Crystal Palace, because it might turn into one of those. You remember, you saw what happened with Chelsea. It might turn into one of those, and then you miss out entirely.
And you miss out. Yeah. All right.
So those are my thoughts, and that's my team.
Good one. I think that really helps and transitions into my team as well. Speaking of Manchester City, I think I've really loaded up on them, and I've tripled up on City. Hopefully, of course, Foden, Cancelo got a rest. Cancelo came on at halftime during the Carabao, and as well as Foden, of course, coming on the second half. So, of course, he missed that penalty. However, I mean, Foden is just one of. His underlying stats are really impressive. I actually had Grealish in that position. I shipped him out just today so that I can accommodate Foden. Of course, Trent, fix and forget. James is what I'm not sure about. He played 120 minutes in that game against, midweek.
I think that's definitely a big sign that Azpilicueta might start.
That's actually a big sign. So that's what I'm actually really scared about. But that's how my defense is looking like. Ramsdale and Foster, I'm still yet to make a decision, especially because I think that there could be goals in that Leicester game. But the thing with Ramsdale is, he gets a lot of save points. Yeah, so I'm also worried about. I'm not too sure about that Watford defense. But anyways, of course, captain armband on Salah. That's fix and forget. Could surprise us, as you've mentioned, but no, I'm not really certain about that. Rafinha,
no one is willing to take the risk.
Yeah, Rafinha. We'll talk about it in the captain picks. Rafinha is, of course, playing Norwich. Norwich, as we know, are struggling. Rafinha has been flagged. For almost every game week, Rafinha is flagged, but he still plays. So I just keep him there anyways. Of course, now that you mentioned that Mbeumo could be playing, of course, that is something that I'm thinking about. My forward line, not too much to think about. Antonio, I think, is a set and forget for me. His underlying stats are still very good. And Vardy as well. Of course, we talked about his record against Arsenal, and they're at home. So I'm, of course, expecting a couple of goals. Probably he could be at the end of some of them. However, Arsenal have been a bit defensively solid. So I don't know whether that would continue, of course, in this Leicester game. But that's how my team is looking like for game week 10.
Yeah, just a point of correction. Okay, not correction, but more information in terms of, you said Arsenal have been a bit defensively solid, but I don't know if you saw the stats that actually Arsenal have been the most solid defensive solid defensive team in the league in the last
Yeah, the last
20
20 games.
matches across all
Yeah.
competitions, keeping 10 clean sheets and conceding only 18 goals. But also Liverpool have the same stat: 10 clean sheets and conceding, I think, 16 goals.
Yeah.
But yeah, Arsenal as a defensive outfit has really come a long way.
Mhm.
And yeah, of course, that's a point to consider. But I like your
Yeah.
team. I like the fact that you're juiced up on Man City assets. There's been rumors that Foden is likely to be benched. I don't know how true those are. Of course, maybe his punishment for missing that penalty that took them out of the Carabao.
Well, I mean, he's the player who is playing the best in that false nine position for them. So, I'd really be very surprised if he was benched. Very, very surprised.
Yeah, but he's doing really well. Actually, in
Yeah.
this season, in the Premier League, we have a lot of youngsters that are just outperforming themselves. The likes of
Mm,
Foden, Mason
mm,
Mount,
mm,
Bukayo Saka, Smith Rowe,
mm,
Gallagher. There's some
mm,
young lads who are actually English players. All
mm,
those
mm,
players are
mm,
English players who are doing
mm.
extremely well. Okay, I think he stepped out kidogo. But yeah, that's basically that. After looking at his team, we are only left with the captain conversation to have. And yeah, you've seen in both my team and Ideal Guys team, we have the armband on Captain Salah. I don't know. I don't know if there's anyone who's brave enough to captain any other player in this game week, especially. Maybe the other favorable captain option would have to be a Man City player, considering they're at home against Crystal Palace side, who are very leaky defensively in terms of they will concede goals. They have proven that they will concede goals in the last 4 games. Two of those have ended in 2-2 draws, and then one in a 1-1 draw. So it tells you that as a defensive unit, Crystal Palace are definitely not astute. And yeah, against this Man City side, you would definitely expect there to be a flurry of goals. But then the problem with Man City is we don't know where the goals are coming from. It could be Jesus today, it could be Bernardo Silva, it could be Kevin De Bruyne, it could be Phil Foden. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of goal scoring potential all over the pitch. And yeah, I guess if for those of us or for those of you who have managed to triple up on Man City, then of course your odds are better covered as opposed to the likes of me who only have one Man City player. So I think the only other favorable captain option would come from that Man City squad. And then that's another challenge in terms of you're not too sure who's gonna get the game time, and you're not too sure where the goals are gonna come from. So it's almost like playing, Russian roulette in terms of course, you would captain Mahrez, and Foden starts instead, and Foden has a stellar performance instead, and maybe Mahrez comes off from the bench, or you captain Foden and Mahrez starts at his expense. That kind of thing. I think the uncertainty of Pep's selection in a way makes it more risky for us to trust his players as captain options. So we are left with maybe possibly an Arsenal player, possibly Aubameyang. Aubameyang has been on form. Ideal guy, welcome back.
Thanks.
I'm just going through some alternative captain options, whether for those who have the guts to look for a different proposition outside Captain Salah. So
Mm.
I said the best option would be a Man City player, of course, because they have a good fixture and everything. But then the challenge is that we don't know. We don't know who's starting. We don't know. The goals are spread all across the pitch, so we don't know who's likely to be an outstanding performer for this particular game. It could be Salah. Oh no, it could be Sterling. It could be De Bruyne. It could be Bernardo. It could be anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other option is likely to be, I was saying, either Aubameyang or Vardy, because that game we expected to have lots of goals. It could swing either way. Both players have been on stellar form. I think scoring consecutively in the last 3 or 4 game weeks. That's Aubameyang and Jamie Vardy. So with either of them, it's like a 50-50 chance. You are rest assured that a goal is going to come from either of them, So whichever you have could be an interesting captain proposition. But yeah, like I said, it would be a struggle to look for an option outside Captain Salah.
I know. I think at this point in the season, of course, we are looking to see could there be a game week with which Salah could actually blank? But this is the thing. Once you just miss out on a Salah captain, that's how red arrows just follow. And he tries and performs. That's how red arrows are following you. I think for me, I'm just gonna go, of course, with the safe captain pick. However, I mean, of course, you make a good point. I think, especially, differential. I think Foden. For me, if Foden is to start, I think that is a very good differential pick, especially playing that false nine and being that, I mean, his XG and XA are actually really good so far in the season. Every time he's played, he's really, getting a lot of shots in the box. And yeah, and then Vardy as well would be my second pick for differential captain for this game. But with an outside chance, very outside chance, if Rafinha is playing, Rafinha could actually be a brave captain pick, especially against Norwich.
No, I think that Rafinha pick might be a grenade. It might be swallowing a grenade.
Okay. I mean, let guys in the comment section, of course, let us know what they think
Yeah,
about. Of
I've seen
course,
Nelson is agreeing with me in terms of a potential Salah blank for game week 10. It's written in the stars. It just feels like it's written in the stars. This guy
but
is going to get a yellow
we've been
card.
talking about
He's going to
being
get a
written in the
2
stars
and a
for the
yellow
last
card,
5 game
and
weeks.
will give us. No, I'm saying now it just feels like it's written in the stars. But let's just wait and see how it plays out.
I'm waiting for a one brave manager who went to captain him. One brave one, and please
I
tell us after
I
doing that.
might just be that brave manager.
Please be, and then we get another Salah trick. But
There's
yeah,
no way. There's no way
but
that's
yeah,
happening. Anyway, I
yeah.
guess that's it for game week 10. That's what we are looking at in terms of the fixtures. And of course, you've seen how our teams are shaping up for the game week. Ideal Guy seems to have settled on his team. I still have a decision to make in the last few hours of the deadline that are left. I'll see whether to go for a Chelsea asset or a Man City asset or maybe save my transfer. But yeah, more or less, that's how the team is set up for game week 10. I'm sure it will be an exciting one. Some really thrilling matches that are coming our way. We're looking out for Manchester United versus Tottenham, of course, to see the El Sackico and how it goes. We're looking out for Leicester versus Arsenal. Of course, that's a big game in the top 4 contention. We're looking out for Aston Villa versus West Ham. That's another big game for the top 4 contention. I mean, game week 10 is packed with some stellar games that are bound to give us some interesting football for us to savor for sure. So I guess we can link up on the review show on Monday, and we'll take this from the other side of the results and see how the game week played out, and of course see how also that was able to translate to our FPL teams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. As usual, we really appreciate your company. We really appreciate your support. We invite you to continue to subscribe and like and share. And yeah, just continue being part of the Fantasy Football Zone family. Having said that, without any much addition, I think that's my adieu. Adieu, guy.
Peace for me.
All right. See you guys.